You mentioned that we're in a moment that this has sort of changed, the context has changed over the last 20 years. You told the New York Times that Bill Clinton should have resigned over the Lewinsky affair.
My point is that the tolerance that we had 25 years ago, what was allowed 25 years ago, it will not be tolerated today, is not allowed today, and that we have to have the kind of oversight and accountability that society needs so that we can protect people in the workplace, that people can function without having an unsafe work environment, whether it's in the military.
So you're saying President Clinton created an unsafe work environment in the White House?
No, I'm saying that this conversation we are having today is really important, and that the kind of behavior that was tolerated a long time ago would never be tolerated today, and we can't allow it to be tolerated today. That, in fact, all of us needs to recognize none of us are above this, and all of us have to be responsible for how we create a workplace in our own office, for my office, how we do our oversight in Congress with providing better oversight over the military, which is our job, with Title IX on college campuses. So we have to do our job. We are all responsible, and we all have to understand that time has changed, and we have to hold people, and elected leaders should not be held to the lowest standard. They should be held to the highest standard. And that's why I've focused all my efforts on trying to change the rules of the game, because they're not fair and they're not working.
So you're saying that if Bill Clinton were president today and those incidents were unfolding today,
I think it would be a very different conversation. Exactly. And that's why I'm urging we should have a very different conversation about President Trump.
So should President Trump resign based on the allegations?
I didn't want him to be president. I thought those things he did
but he is president.
made him unqualified.
He got elected.
Agreed.
So there are all
we
of
should
these
now
allegations.
have a conversation that that is not okay, and that we should not just ignore him. We should be having a much larger conversation about what we expect of our elected leaders, and it should never be this lowest common denominator, or boys will be boys. That is an outrageous statement to be said. It's not okay. We expect much more, and that's why the Roy Moore debate is so top on everybody's mind, because this person wants to be in the Senate. His behavior is disqualifying in the same way, to me, the president's behavior was disqualifying. That was my view. And so now, as a U.S. Senator, my job is to try to protect other people.
There are some people who have worked for the Clintons over the years that are essentially questioning your loyalty. There was a very tough tweet from Philippe Reines, who says the Senate voted to keep President William Jefferson Clinton, but that's not enough for you. Senator Gillibrand, over 20 years, you took the Clintons' endorsements, money, and seat. Hypocrite. Interesting strategy for 2020 primaries. Best of luck. What do you say back to that?
Ridiculous, and he's wrong. Bill Clinton did very important things for this country. But my point is about this conversation we are having today, and that we need to have the highest standards for elected leaders, and we have to change what's happening throughout society, and we have to allow people to tell their stories. That is what this is all about, and that is why the Me Too campaign is as powerful as and as important as